Let's talk about one of the absolute toughest parts of trading, knowing when a stock's amazing run is about to hit a wall. Time it right, and you lock in those sweet profits. But if you get it wrong, well, you can watch them vanish in a heartbeat. So, let's break down the signs that can give you a heads up.
It really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You're riding high, the stock's climbing, the music's playing, everything feels fantastic. But we all know every party has to end. The real skill isn't just enjoying the ride up, it's knowing when to grab your coat and leave before the lights come on.
And that's the real kicker. See, a mountain has a summit, a clear top. A stock rally? Not so much. There's no big sign that says, you've reached the peak. Trying to nail that exact top is usually a recipe for driving yourself crazy.
But, and this is a big but, here's the good news. While you can't predict the future, you can absolutely prepare for it. There are clues, subtle hints, little breadcrumbs the market leaves behind that can tell you the tide might be turning. So let's put on our detective hats and start looking for the evidence.
Okay, so first up in our investigation, we're looking at 4 major warning signs. Now think of these as yellow flags, all right? They're not a guaranteed signal to sell everything, but they are a clear sign that you need to start paying way closer attention.
We're going to walk through all 4 of these. These are kind of the big picture environmental clues you should be looking for. And we're going to start with one that seems a little backwards at first. All right, sign number 1 is a classic, and it's a real head-scratcher. It's when a company puts out amazing news, like they crushed their earnings report or launched a killer new product, and the stock price actually goes down.
So what gives? Why would that happen? Well, a few things could be going on. It could be that everyone already expected the good news, so it was priced in long ago. Or maybe some of the sharper investors are digging into the report and they don't like how the company made its money. Or, and this happens a lot in hot markets, maybe expectations were just so sky high that even fantastic results felt like a letdown. Whatever the reason, it's a huge sign that the peak excitement has probably passed.
Okay, on to our second clue. This one is all about a really popular trading strategy, buying the dip. You know the drill, and a strong rally, every little drop in price is seen as a fantastic chance to jump in and buy more before the stock takes off again. This creates this awesome self-fulfilling cycle, right? The stock dips, buyers rush in, the price hits a new high, and that success just brings in even more people waiting for the next dip. The big flashing warning sign comes when that cycle breaks, when the stock pulls back and the buyers just don't show up. Or they do, but not enough to push it to a new high. That tells you the crowd is starting to get nervous.
Now for our third clue, and this one's really visual. It's what we call a parabolic rise. This is when a stock's chart goes from a nice healthy angle to whoosh, almost straight up. It's pure euphoria, where the price just completely detaches from any sort of fundamental reality.
And while these moves are incredibly exciting on the way up, they are almost always unsustainable. What goes up like a rocket often comes down like a rock. And the problem is, these things don't have a soft landing. The reversal is usually just as fast and as brutal as the ride up, and it catches way too many people by surprise.
Our fourth and final warning sign is all about the story of a single day of trading. Think of it like a battle, where a stock closes at the end of the day, tells you who won the fight between the buyers and the sellers. So if a stock pushes up to a new high, but then the sellers shove it all the way back down to close near its low, that's a big sign of weakness. It means the buyers try to take the hill, but they failed.
And here's how you can confirm that suspicion. You look at the trading volume. If you see that the number of shares traded on that big, ugly red day was way higher than on the nice green days before it, that's basically the sellers shouting from the rooftops. It's a strong hint they're getting more aggressive and are ready to take control. Okay, so we've got our 4 big picture warning signs. Now it's time to pull out the magnifying glass and look at the forensic evidence. We're going to dive into 5 specific candlestick patterns that can help confirm that a reversal is actually happening. A candlestick, by the way, just gives you a visual of the price battle for a single day. That's all it is. Here are the 5 patterns we're going to zoom in on. Each one tells its own little story about that shifting power dynamic between the buyers and the sellers, from something subtle like the advanced block to something pretty ominous like the 3 black crows. So let's start with the advanced block. Here you've got 3 green days in a row, which sounds good, right? But look closer. Each day, the body of the candle gets a little smaller. Think of it like a runner who's getting tired. They're still moving forward, but each step has a little less power behind it. The trend is just running out of gas.
Next up, a really powerful one, the bearish engulfing pattern. Now this is not subtle. This is a very dramatic 2-day signal.
After a pretty normal green day, the next day a massive red candle appears that completely swallows or engulfs the entire body of the candle from the day before. And what's so telling about this is the psychology behind it. Day one is just business as usual. The bulls are in charge, everything's fine. Then, bam! On day two, the sellers come in with so much force, they not only wipe out all of yesterday's gains, they push the price even lower. It's a sudden and violent shift in sentiment. The dark cloud cover tells a similar story. The day starts out looking great. The stock opens even higher than it was yesterday. But then, the sellers take over completely. They drive the price all the way down, so it closes deep in the bottom half of the previous day's green candle. It's like a sunny morning that turns into a dark, stormy afternoon out of nowhere. And how about the shooting star? I mean, the name says it all. This is a classic story of rejection. The buyers make a big push higher during the day, creating that long upper shadow, or wick. But they can't hold it. By the end of the day, the sellers have pushed them all the way back down. It's the market sending a very clear signal. Nope, you are not allowed to go any higher.
And finally, we have the 3 black crows. This isn't just a one-day event. This is a sustained 3-day assault by the sellers. You get 3 long, ugly red candles in a row, and each one closes lower than the one before it. This pattern suggests the momentum has decisively shifted, and the bears are now firmly in control of the narrative. Okay, so you've seen the warning signs, you've spotted a few of the confirming patterns. So now what? What do you actually do with all this information? Let's talk about a practical game plan. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. None of these signs on their own are a foolproof reason to panic and sell everything you own. Remember, they are yellow flags, not bright red sirens blaring flags. They are a signal to wake up, manage your risk, and get ready for a change. So a really smart strategy here is something called scaling out. Instead of making one giant, stressful, all-or-nothing decision, you just sell a piece of your position, maybe a quarter, maybe a third. This is such a powerful way to manage risk. If the stock does drop, hey, you've already locked in some profit and you've cushioned the blow. And if you're wrong and the rally keeps going, no big deal. You're still in the game with the rest of your shares. It lets you navigate that uncertainty without making a single massive bet. And that really brings us to the core idea here. You can't predict the absolute tippy-top peak of a rally. It's pretty much impossible. But what you can do is learn how to spot the signs that the weather is about to change, so you can have a plan to prepare for the descent. I hope this look at the signs helps you do just that. Thanks for tuning in.